So I hear twin sister is dropping out and moving to Dubai. Come see your boy.
Oh man, I'm just getting caught up in the chat. Sorry for anyone that's new to the channel, but definitely go view the chat back if you want to be caught up there. Twin sister, huh? So she's moving to Dubai?
She's coming to see me. She's dropping out of uni. She's coming to see me.
You know, I've heard that you have a couch just like the one in our thumbnail at your place.
And she's probably going to get wrecked.
All right, guys. Oh, that's funny. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the thumbnail. Again, those are all for fun, guys. Rarely are they serious, but we are going to actually talk about price today. This is going to be a short and sweet one. We have covered these targets ad nauseum for weeks. We've been one of the few channels that's just constantly said that we're still looking for upside. There's no reason for us to really think that anything has changed and that these targets will be hit. So that is the casting couch, Dave Digital. You are correct. And that is a bear sitting on it. So I've done my work as a content creator this morning, and that took way longer to think of than you would imagine. But looking at Bitcoin, we've had boxes on our charts for quite some time. The only reason I'm on my sessions tab is because when we were trading yesterday, you had some levels here to be aware of. And I had posted this because I took this short right here yesterday. This was initially a good position. Sweep of the previous day high, get in just underneath the previous day high and the 6M2. Now, I got one take profit before being stopped out, and that position barely made money. So it was one of those things where it's really nothing to write home about. The key was, the swing fail up here. You have a stop loss, right? But right here, the Asia high. So if you were marking out your Asia session highs in London high here, that was your back test, right? So this is where you are looking for support to come in. And at the time, I believe it was also the value area high on the 40 tick for the daily. Let's go like so, and we'll take a look. Yeah, you can see right here. So you had the value area high of your developing week coming in there. At the time, that's just the daily because Monday is the first day of the week. But, that's how you could have been looking for that. And that's how you'd have known that, hey, we are coming back into support, and I should be looking at this region as at least a take profit. Personally, I was hoping to get a second take profit below these levels at like around the weekly open and the VWAP. That was where I was looking to close that trade entirely. Instead, it ran my stop, which is fine. We go right back into Bitcoin and we trade it to the upside. Now you can see that your range is rotating up, and you're going to spend some time in this area. Now, the one thing you did run into up here isn't just the resistance that we had marked out, not just our box here, which is, decently respected, but you ran into an old session in POC. Max does not save these past a month. I, however, have this thing where I never delete anything half the time. And that's what you're hung up on. You have a London NPOC from the London session. I don't even know where this one comes back from. It's got to be a long time ago. It's got to be months ago, right? So you can see right here, this took place all the way over here. Okay, so our London NPOC came in on June the 9th. So very, very neat to see how that is all working. And now that price has actually come back to it and respected it. And I feel like I'm so far away from the price action that I thought I lost it. So for me, previous day high, pretty important, just beneath the 29,873 level. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of some of these things on the chart. They're just no longer necessary. We'll go back to the crackhead time frame. And we'll move on out. So want to see this box holding as support. So again, box to box. Last night, I had said that if we lose the previous week high, I think we were still trading right here, right around like 29.3. It would make me think that we're not going to see this box here. And my overall targets still sit to the upside at 32 to 33K as of right now. Now, if something happens, we can always change that, and you have to be able to be flexible with the market. But in this case, I am still looking up from 30 to 32,392 and 32,903. That is no secret there. Those are the same targets we've been justifying. Yesterday, we talked about some potential levels to look for longs in, and specifically this 27.5 region. And I talked about a fractal in the group on Sunday. If you were in that live stream, this is something that I've seen a couple Twitter accounts now cover it, but I like to say that I was first on this one. Not that it matters, but it does matter. So when you look at this, what does this resemble? You can see the two peaks here before the dip, the high, and then the higher low out of where it was the gold pocket, right? So your gold pocket was your support. If you were just to flip on over to the daily and we take a trip down memory lane here, you can actually see that is a very similar structure right here. Nice symmetrical triangle, just like we just had. And you can see that where did we end up finding all this support was out of that gold pocket. So that 27.5 region was really important to me because it just looked from an overall structure standpoint, just like this. And the one thing you have in this case that, I was kind of hoping to get a secondary snag at towards the end of that, and you don't always get it, was you did have this SFP right here. As Max would say, it's the only trade that you've ever needed. You had this really nice SFP all the way back here, but very similar structure. So when we look at this compared to the 1 hour chart we were just looking at, you have your two peaks, pretty much identical, big sell-off, rally into the gold pocket before large impulse out, right? Now, eventually price did come back and back test the high there, which is to be expected. But let's go over to where we're at now, right? So again, there is the same structure almost, right? So and there is our gold pocket. So that previous week low in this 27.5 region. While we were wanting to get it, you don't always get what you want. And if you recall, the one thing we said yesterday is that you have two options on a breakout, right? You can swing fail this high and you can bring it back down low if the trade presents itself. However, you can't fight this move up the entire way because we're not doing anything until we hit our targets. And so now we're in the region that we wanted to be in. And we did say it's not a guaranteed short here. It's probably going to offer up some form of reaction and tradable region. But it doesn't mean you just blindly short $30,000 because those that did that are not sitting in a very good place. This is the 5-minute chart looking at the levels, and we're going to get rid of this NPOC now because it's no longer necessary. But and the quarterly NPOC was tapped as well. I'll get rid of that in a second. The 3M2 right here is now gone at 30,169, right? So now you're wanting to see 29,873 hold, in my opinion, basically. I know Max said that there's some single prints beneath us. I haven't done too much on the low time frames today. I'm just letting my winners ride. The one from 16.6, another couple percentage points of that one are locked in. And again, when I close out that leverage position, it closes back into spot Bitcoin so that I'm still exposed for upside. Just deleveraging myself out of the market so that I'm not, risk on all the time. It's not the best way to do things, in my opinion, but to each their own. So for me, still looking for 32, 33K, unless there's a sign of weakness that comes in. I'll let Max go over the single prints and talk shop there. Bitcoin dominance was the other thing that we talked about yesterday. We said we expect to see the 2022 high taken. We've now hit that. So we would want to see this either find support and then continue up, or if you wanted to be bullish on altcoins, if you recall, we said the thing would be something like this that you want to see down back into the range. However, if it does something like this, it could just run to the 50% mark at 56 up to 60%, excuse me, at the 2020 low being the key low that I'm looking for right now. So, yeah, not a great look for alts right now, but eventually that does change. So this might be something you want to keep an eye on. But I am going to turn it over to Max because I've been talking for a little bit now. 9 minutes.
Okie dokie. Yeah, I mean, really going to just go over the move up, the high itself, and the single prints that we've got. So the move up's actually pretty strong. So what the basics of order flow, of open interest and delta to know that a move is strong. It's open interest up, and it's delta following whatever direction the move is. So you want delta up and open interest up in this instance. As you can see, started off, had that short squeeze. It's typical, trigger to really get a move going. But what you have to then see, you then have to see buyers come and step in. And 29K, I mentioned this in the group, but I was saying, if you really do lose 29K, it's going to be detrimental to the high because buyers were really struggling. There was no whenever the buyers were coming in, price was just pretty much falling flat on them straight away. But as long as that continues, whoever's suppressing the price, someone's going to run out of money. The shorts have been wrecked in this move up. Shorts got absolutely destroyed. But then the buyers continue. Whoever's been trying to hold it down to get that price to lose 29k and ultimately probably go back down to the point of control of that range, squeezed out, and then buyers continued. As you can see, you've had delta and open interest both climbing with this rise, which is great. It's great. It's a strong move. It's everything that you want to see until you start to lose some important regions on the charts. Reason being, I wouldn't really say this is one of them moves where we've not really SFP'd all the time, and those moves tend to be a bit more diagonal than this one's been rather vertical. I guess you could argue the same thing, and what I'm trying to say is that you can tend to get fast moves down when these type of moves occur. So that is the one thing to be aware of, and you've got plenty of single prints below. So if you do start to make your way into these single prints, potentially this is support. It's got the previously value area high there, so it has every option currently, but I don't think we're going to make it there today. But it's still an important region because you've had this volume transacted there. But it's like, if you get there, how likely is it that this area holds? From a market structure standpoint, I'd say it's pretty important that it does, because if lost, then it really does look pretty shit. But yeah, you've got single prints, which I would say this one not so key. If we do come down here, I think it's got every chance for it's going to get filled. But it's this area on the charts that I'd be really have my eyes on, if we can hold it or not. But yeah, from right now, move up's good. The high itself is pretty mid. So for you guys that have lingered in and around us for long enough, you'll know that I quite like to assess highs and determine how strong they are. And I'm picking literally the exact high. I'm not really incorporating this, but the exact high here, volume's mid. It's not really one of those highs that you'd think is going to last us for a very long time. So volume's pretty mid. Delta and open interest, again, not really giving us anything to work off there. And also you don't even have a finished auction at the top. So all these types of things kind of signal that this high isn't going to last us too long, which then falls into the camp of Magic's camp, which says you're going to go up to 32k, I believe, was his targets. So, with all these things, shorts, you've got to be quick taking profits and just locking them in, because I do think that we are going to take that high. There's not been an overly large amount of shorts that have entered here, but you have had you've had some specs, but it's been mainly buyers. And while the buyers continue to come in at these price levels, until we start to trap them, we can't really trade against them. It's only when the price then starts to get below those levels, below the where the buyers have been coming in, that we can then really think about, then you can really say, oh, look, the buyers aren't doing as good of a job as they have been. And then, when that occurs, it kind of shows a damage in the armor effectively. Then you can start to look for them low targets. But someone asked us in the group, when can we take a short from here? As soon as a short setup comes, you had the gold pocket came here, really was a small, quick trade, pretty abysmal, to be honest with you. You had to be really quick on it because it only came to the VWAP and then bounced. So you really have got to be patient with the shorts while this trend is so strong. So that's all I would say. Be patient with the shorts until we get those signs that these buys that are coming in, because look, you've still got delta going up, you've still got open interest going up. Until those buyers start to show some weakness and start to lose some levels, and then we can see, that maybe the shorts and the sellers are starting to take control a little bit. Until then, I'll be very patient on the shorts personally. So yeah, not expecting this high to last until some levels are lost. I don't think we've really got too much to worry about on this trend currently. But yeah, that's me. Done, Magic. Alas.
That was very quick.
Yeah,
It was very quick casting for you. So,
3 minutes.
You say 3 minutes? I think you were what, 6 minutes there? 6 minutes? Yeah.
Oh, we got about 6 minutes.
Yeah, there's really not much to talk about. But I guess let me take a look at Ethereum real quick. I haven't looked at Ethereum in a minute, and we might as well. Some of these alts, if Bitcoin's going to move up, the alts versus USD pairing are going to move up as well. So they may not run as hard, but the recipe is there for when things do start to shift back towards altcoins. Yeah, this will do. Let me get my screen shared and we'll talk some shop here on the old Ether coin. Screen to engage. All right. So we're still working off the same level. I have not adjusted these levels in months, outside of putting on the new quarterly pivot, things like that. There's really not much to really add in here. 1785, that was the level we talked about previously. We said you got to hold this level if you get a back test of it. So we'll go down to the 4 hour and you can see what I'm talking about. So you finally broke above it. And then you can see that this was essentially your holding support on like a 4 hour to daily candle closure, right? So you can see the closures here, never actually closing below. Now you're trying to hold on to the quarter 3 pivot after effectively coming up to tap the 6M2. You missed it by about $3, so not much. Back down to the Q3, nice SFP, makes Max happy every time he sees it, I'm sure. And now you're looking to crack 1946 and a really big target at 1988 and 2031. So I would have that marked up there because I do think it's a tradable region. However, if it is cracked, I know the quarter 1 low is here. I'm starting to look all the way up to 2457 up to 2600 because that is the merged point of control for Ethereum. So my Ether longs, while not leveraged, I am in spot Ethereum because I did accumulate in this region, but I won't be closing any of those positions or, until I either hit some of these and I see a sign of weakness or, just hit some more major targets for me, which would be up in that like 2600 range. Somewhere up in this region as well would be not a bad place to look. But yeah, Ethereum, it's lagging behind. Everything is. But Ethereum generally leads the alts. So once Ethereum starts to look strong, that's it's by and large good. I felt like there was one coin I really wanted to look at, and it was not Ethereum. It was something else. And it's going to drive me insane that I haven't actually. I think it was XRP, Max's favorite. I wanted to check in on the old XRP because I haven't had an alert go off in a while, and we've been watching this one. And yeah, again, so back at resistance right here. So we said that this is resistance, and we want to see 47.99 cents holding as support. And yeah, you've come down, you've back tested it now. Now you need to see 53 to 54.61 in this quarter 1 low. And if Bitcoin is still going to rally and continue rallying higher, once this box is broken, I am going to begin looking up towards this B leg on this asset. So do keep that in mind that these targets you're going to have to be patient on for these altcoins while Bitcoin's doing its thing. Because if dominance is picking up, alts, they're not going to bleed versus the USD or USDT pairing, but they will bleed against Bitcoin. So you will have to be patient on those. But, to me, if you were getting this positioning down here, it was still worth it because even the move off these lows is effectively 100%. You're not getting that out of Bitcoin. Well, I guess you did off the lows, but usually alts outperform. And in this case where they're underperforming, they're still actually performing at about the same percent return in most cases. So, I would be patient on alts because a lot of these are coming into really major areas that have already been tested once, like Ethereum at that 1946 to 1988 level. XRP is coming back into that 53 to 54.61 cent resistance. If cracked, we're looking for much higher prices north of 77 cents into like the, like the 90 to $1.09 region, somewhere like that. Yeah, like 80, 87 cents, something like that. To hit the B leg of this bullish bat reversal pattern. So be patient with some of these altcoins. They are a little boring right now, but that can change very quickly. The only one that's been running really, really hard up until recently was Litecoin. And, again, I haven't really touched these levels. So these are all they are what I've had on the chart. And they probably need to be worked through, to be honest with you. This one is probably done. But again, something like Litecoin, another good indicator of what's going on in terms of alts. Really, really key low here that got swept. And you've come back into this zone of the chart at, what is this, like 104 to 104.11 to 112. And resistance, support, does get through the level, runs to our secondary box, support, and resistance. So if cracked, at a minimum, you're going to see that $40 jump to 146 probably. Anything above that, and you start looking up to like 228, 247. But that's when you'll know with alts. You want to see them getting through these resistances, and that'll put you in a good spot in terms of where you should be rotating capital as you go. So hopefully that helps a little bit. And I did want to make sure that we weren't just like getting on here, basically just throwing you guys some targets and then hopping off. Let me roll through the chat real quick. I don't know what Ocean or AGIX is. I don't want anyone to take this. This stream is not going to be one where we just take a bunch of requests, but there will be days we do stuff like that. And I'll add it. I don't really have a chart on it. I could look at it, but I don't know what either one of them are. Looks like we might go to trial. SEC versus Ripple. Both parties are requesting a jury. Filing showed up today. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I don't follow the trial. I only follow the chart. So you know me, I don't care about any of that stuff. I don't care if XRP is a security or not. If they get found a security, it's not the end of the world. There's going to be infinite opportunities in this market. So I honestly could care less. I've been hearing about it for 2 years. I just want them to get it over with at this point. But I'm going to hop off here, update my intraday charts to get back up to speed. Max gave us a really good rundown there on the single prints. For me, just from a basic level standpoint on Bitcoin, just a recap, I really want to see 29,873 holding as support. I want to live above that level. If you dip below it, it's probably okay. But as long as you're not living there, like a wick is fine. But I don't want to be living down here closing 4-hour daily candles, because then it looks like it does want to start filling in some of that stuff. So as Max has said, I think as he put it, the high is wank or something like that. I don't know what slang you guys use over there from the UK, but mid. They say mid. Okay.
And that's not a UK thing. That's an American thing. I'm just in with the fucking youngsters. Oh,
oh, hey. This is a family friendly.
In with the youngsters.
Yeah. All right. I am going to hop off here, guys. I'm going to keep this one somewhat short and sweet. We'll start looking at altcoins a little more here going forward. AGIX and Ocean, come back in on one of the next lives. Be like, hey, you said you would look at these for me and call me out on it, and I'll certainly do some live TA on it for you. If you guys have any questions, you know what to do. Leave a comment down below after the stream or in the group. If you would like to get into the Discord or look over our educational services to learn how to use some of these tools in Orderflow, leadingcrypto.io, scan the QR code. It'll take you right there. You can run through everything and see if it's for you. Otherwise, smash the like, share it with a friend, and don't forget to give the thumbnail some love. I put way more effort into those than I should in the mornings. It's kind of like my morning cup of coffee, though. I do enjoy it. So thank you guys for being here, and we will see you guys